Good morning, traders. I'm excited. It's a big day here at Benzinga as we start into our partnership. Of course, Trade the Pool. You guys see him at the top. I'm excited to get into some prop trading action. Ryan's going to be joining me. And who knows? We won't play it too much like a competition, but Ryan knows it's me against him, baby. Let's get after it.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Those words have been dancing around my head all night. Oh, it's Vegas lore, that phrase.
All right, team. I'm excited to get into the action today. It's going to be a fun one. Let's bring, of course, Nick Brown into here. How we doing, Nick?
I'm good. It's Tuesday.
Looking good, my friend. I like it. I like it with the short sleeves there. Is that the short sleeves or the rolled up?
No, it's the short sleeves. It's too hot here in Pittsburgh. It's almost 86 today. Too hot for me.
I can't blame you, man. I can't blame it. We definitely
Where's
need
winter,
some...
Mitch? Where's winter? I'm ready for winter. Snow falling.
You know what sucks is the second summer, right? As they call it, like where you get like this 1 week of like that nice little fall weather. And then all of a sudden, boom, right back at you, 80, 85 degrees, 90
Where's the
degrees.
pumpkin spice?
Yes. I'm all for it. I only take it in October, though. That's my rule. Only
that's your rule. Okay.
In October. That we're
I was going to say
there.
Dunkin' and Donut Connection already have pumpkin spice things rolled
I know
out.
they bring it out way too early, Nick, and then they start bringing everything pumpkin spice. You know how it goes, but
it's okay. There's Christmas items already at the store at Big Lots near me, so nothing to talk about.
All right, let's get to the stock market action, guys. Let's take a look. Of course, today I will be starting up my eValley account here, of course, with Trade the Pool, and then we'll talk a little bit more about that coming up. Of course, you guys can always hit that QR code in the top right if you want to learn more about this. You can get a 14-day free trial to check out this platform. But you guys see everything here. You guys will see everything going through, the filled orders, the positions. On the right-hand side here, I have some gainers and losers list that we can go throughout the show. We'll talk a little bit more about this. And, of course, you guys can learn more about what's going on. You guys can take a look at all the different assets of Trade the Pool. I will go through kind of different things that we can be using here. And, of course, you guys will see me trade a little bit more. And that's what I want to do, especially right here for you guys on live trading. Ryan will be with us in just a little bit. We'll get into the action, but let's take a look at some of the stocks today, and we can talk a little bit about what's going on, right? Let's go to NVIDIA here and take a look at NVIDIA. Of course, that's going to be one of the top stocks to watch today, and I don't know, man. A little part of me is like, do you feel brave and go short NVIDIA today? A little part of me feels like it wouldn't be the worst trade. You would have to be careful. I'd have to wait for a nice little push up and then a downturn. But we'll have to see what happens there. I definitely don't want to do it early on in the day. If I do it, it's because I'm seeing the banks start to get hit, and we're seeing tech not rally at all today. I want to see if tech gets hit today. And I start to feel that way because I feel like there's a lot of people that are starting to lean right back to the bull side. And then just as simple as that, it could go and tame those bulls today. So a big part of that will be watching NVIDIA today. Of course, you guys can keep an eye out on that. And I'm also going to be watching Microsoft. That's going to be a big watch for me because if Microsoft can turn around, I also feel like this could be a turnaround, right? So Microsoft did come back. It's back towards the 9 EMA. It's close towards a nice little 2-day rally. Now will it actually start coming back through like the 324s or 325s? If it makes a move like that, yeah, this rally could continue. But if we're right back there towards 320s, 318s, it's all going to depend on that NVIDIA report. So I'll be watching those stocks. Of course, I still have some swing trades on AAL. That's American Airlines. It did do a nice little bounce yesterday, held the 15 pullback. We'll see if that holds today and takes a leg higher. And then WFG, West Fraser Timber. Of course, this is another one that I have, and we'll see if this one can go higher. This is a lumber play, not a play that you see often mentioned, but something that I'll be watching. What do I think about the bros? The bros, well, the truth is like I've talked about it. The big thing with bros is they need to change their comparable sales. Comparable sales need to start going higher. And I think that that's what I'll be watching. Of course, you guys know I love my Dutch bros. And don't get me wrong, you can fall in love with a company. What you can't do is fall in love with the stock, because that's easily how you can go ahead and just get destroyed, right? I did that in Genie, and I'm still holding the bag for it, right? So just to kind of put that in perspective, right? You guys see Genie pull back there; it's back down to $6. It was up there to 840, man. I probably should have just taken my money and ran with the loss, but hey, it is what it is. One day you'll see me on the cruise. I always tell Ryan he'll see me on the cruise one day when I sell that Genie bag. But we'll see what happens, right? And I think that you just got to keep an eye out on these stocks to see if they continue to run. I saw yesterday we had like Tupperware moving, and Tupperware is a tradable stock on Trade the Pool. I just want to show you guys that there is some smaller names on here. It's not going to be all the names. We don't have every stock available, but we have over 12,000 names, right? And I think that's more than enough, right? If I can trade ETFs, if I can trade my SOX S, my SOX L, you guys know how I love trading those. My TQQQ fans out there, my SQQQ fans, the leverage trades. Some people like to gush on some people. I can't blame them. I like to gush on Ryan a little bit as he joined us. How you doing, Ryan? A little better introduction today. Oh, but the mic's
You're on mute.
But the mic's dead. The mic got the rug pull. No, don't worry, Ryan. Just fix your mic whenever you get a chance. I don't think it's on. That mic sometimes I think it has a power button.
How's that sound?
There you go. That's what it was.
There we go.
No, everything was wrong. The wrong things were selected here. So
good Lord.
It wasn't the button, Mitch. It wasn't the. I've been fooled by that one before, but not today.
It wasn't the button. It was everything else. But
it was everything else, baby.
We got you. That's what matters, man. We're gonna be looking today. Of course, I got my little setup here on Trade the Pool. We'll see what happens. Of course, these are the eval accounts. We'll talk a little bit about that coming up. I don't want to take too much of the front side of the show for that. We'll talk a little bit about that on the back side of the show. Let's keep going, team. We'll take a look at some of the stocks that you guys want to take a look at. And Ryan will have his charts up in a little bit for us to take a look into his insights. Marshall's talking a little question here. Marshall, I was looking into Trade the Pool. And do you ever risk your own money? What would be the maximum that you can lose? Just what package you paid for? Exactly, Marshall. And I think that that's the important part here, right? Is that you're trying to do an eval account to attain a prop account, right? And then once you have that prop account, you're going to have what? A profit sharing to do, right? And that's how you really start making money in this account, right? You first got to go through the evaluation to get the account. And yes, if you essentially lose that eval account, that's all you can lose. They're not gonna come after you because you lost a little bit more on the gush trade. It'll cut you out of the trade if it needs to, right? The system itself. You get to the max drawdown, it'll just cut the trade. And that's also something to note, right? All right, let's get to the action. We can take a look at different stocks. We can take a look at some of the smaller names. Whatever you guys want to take a look at, my man Ryan will be ready for you guys. Let's get to the S&P 500 or the SPY outlook for Ryan. And let's see what he's looking at.
Yeah, we can do the SPY here first. Let me pull that up here. I actually had the movers tool up, but
my man's looking at some movers.
All right, so we're continuing to bounce here. We didn't quite get down to the purple shaded area. We'll see where this ends up stopping. Realistically, I think that we're going to have some resistance here at 444. So this is, if the market is going to remain strong today, we're likely going to have a test here at 444. This is actually lining up pretty good with the 50-day moving average as well. So this was the same on the way down, and now it's the same on the way up. And we'll see if we do get stopped there. That moving average, that 50-day moving average is about 50 cents higher than the resistance line that we drew there. So that's just, we'll see if the SPY has the strength, or if the broader market has the strength to really move up today. I'm skeptical, but we'll see. NVIDIA is, of course, raging new all-time highs on NVIDIA. Nick, I'm not sure if you covered any of the news here yet today, as I was late to the party, but I'll go ahead and leave you some room here. I do want to cover a couple of smaller names that are likely to be in play. I'll be honest, the list yesterday worked really, really well. The trades were not all that difficult. and we're able to identify them ahead of time. So hopefully we get the same type of action here today. First one on the list is going to be Fulcrum Therapeutics. This is ticker FULC. Popped as high as 629, really kind of came in, but we're doing a really good job holding this low 5 as well as staying really close to the VWAP here. So wouldn't be surprised if a volume pop takes us to the VWAP. We've actually seen this on a couple of other stocks. Not only do we get to the VWAP, but we get through the VWAP, and that actually makes for a really good trade. So we'll see if we get that here on FULC. I believe there was news for this one. Yeah. So they got as of this morning, the FDA lifts a clinical hold on one of the sickle cell disease drugs. Stiefel also upgraded them, gave them an $11 price target. So we're currently up 35% and sitting at just about $5.30, $11 price target in here. So I'm looking for FULC to get some action today. This is one of the top watches on the list here. Next is going to be PMN. This is doing kind of a sideways trade right now, which is great. Really, really like this. I'd like to see some more volume candles like this that really kind of pop the price. We'll see if we can actually break out or up and out of this 220, 230 resistance area. We're doing a really good job holding 2 here. So that's kind of what I want to see. I think as long as we stay above 2, we can maybe flirt with that VWAP and maybe a little bit higher on PMN here. So we'll see. Let's check the news here on PMN. We did have this news yesterday after hours. They announced a private placement financing at 188 per unit here as well. So I actually didn't dig through this, but the market seems to like this, still up 27% and holding. This would be just a trade-off technicals here. I really kind of like seeing the sideways action. Should be really easy for us to identify a breakup or a breakdown in whatever it ends up doing here. So there was another one here, 13, shout out to you. You were talking about potential short squeeze opportunities. We've been looking at some of these recently. Some of these names have really, really gone. I mean, Carvana, I feel like we started talking about Carvana in the teens. That went to, what, the 50s on some of the short juice. So we'll see if we get that here again. ALLO, the interesting one. If we start with the daily chart here, you can see this daily chart is about as fugly as it gets. We are just making new lows, pounding the low here. Current price, 370. If we take a look at the 1 minute chart, we're still kind of drifting down. Here's the thing that is of interest. 33% of its float shorted. Now, this is down from the last reporting date, so we're down about 11%, but the days to cover are just huge, 24.1 days to cover. So let's see if ALLO gets any type of squeeze action. I have no position in this. I'm just saying be prepared because it looks like this one could have potential squeeze effect. We got Tesla trading up here today. We'll see if Nick's got any news on that. That's dragging the Tesla ETF as well. With NVIDIA making new all-time highs, we have SOXL up today. The interesting thing here for a trade will be if we top and we kind of reverse. I know Mitch talks a lot about the 1045 reverse or 945 reverse. If we get that reversal here, that actually might be a really good trade in some of the short instruments, particularly SOXS. So let's kind of stalk that. I also noticed that NEO was up here, Palantir a little bit, GNS. We talked about GNS yesterday. This up a little bit, kind of holding in there. We'll see though. And then there was one more, Becca, talking about APLD here today. APLD has been a really, really good trader for us before. It is really moving up here. Now, the thing about APLD is I really want this to come back down to the VWAP. I am really not confident on a new entry here unless we kind of tighten this up to the VWAP. So we'll see if we end up getting that. That's actually a pretty good watch. Nick, I'll go ahead and drive here for you if you want. You got some news you want us to go over? Let me go ahead and put the watermark on here so we can see what ticker it is. And Wisdom, yeah, I did say fugly, so believe it. Believe it. I'm taking you back to high school today, baby. Taking you back to high school.
I was going to say, Ryan, regarding NVIDIA, 52-week high is 480 on 88, 480, 88. Right now it's at 482. 20. So again, new 52-week high. We'll see if it holds through the session. But Tesla and NVIDIA had very good days yesterday. But again, when NVIDIA reports tomorrow, will it break the market if it misses results? Because they rose guidance significantly last quarter. So we're going to have to see if they were able to maintain that. Something to watch. tomorrow night. We still have 2 full trading days ahead to see how NVIDIA goes. Remember, HSBC upgraded their target yesterday. I think they're at 700. Rosenblatt has the highest price target on NVIDIA to 800. In the meantime, I don't know if you have any comment regarding NVIDIA, just because this stock has been on a tear recently, and I don't know if it's going to have the strength to continue.
My comment is, ouch. I'm short NVIDIA through NVDS, and it's not going well. Really quickly, I am joking about that, but the reality here is that I chose that instrument because I understood that NVIDIA could really kind of move to new highs, especially prior to the print. Now, the fact that we're running up into the print leads me to believe that we might actually let some of that air out after the print. We'll see, right? We'll see. They had a huge guy. We'll see if they live up to it. I don't really know. I mean, the thing is, I selected what I selected just to keep myself safe. So I'm down about $100 on the position. Really not the end of the world. Really, the only question is going to be, do you add to that position in dollar cost average? That I'm not too sure, because I've just gotten pretty much spanked since I opened that. But keeping it really small makes it a lot easier to actually hang on to it. By the way,
a lot of earnings. I was going to say earnings are the key driver. Zoom, if you could throw up ZM, they reported earnings yesterday, $1.34 for adjusted EPS, $1.05 estimate. Revenue, $1.14 billion. Estimates for $1.11 billion. They see full year adjusted EPS, $4.63 to $4.67. Saw $4.25 to $4.31. They see full year revenue, $4.49 billion to $4.5 billion. They previously saw $4.47 billion to $4.49 billion. And they said AI 60 times on the call, and that includes Q&A. Lowe's, they reported earnings this morning. LOW, adjusted EPS, $4.56. Estimates for $4.49. Sales, $24.96 billion. Estimates for $24.99 billion. Comparable sales down 1.6%. They affirm the full year 23 outlook. They see full year 23 revenue, $87 to $89 billion. Estimates for $88.05 billion. They see full year EPS, $13.20 to $13.60. Estimates for $13.38. And they see full year comparable sales negative, down 2% to down 4% year over year. Medtronic, yes.
Nick, did we get any comments about the size of the projects like we did with Home Depot? Remember, Home Depot told us that the appetite for larger remodels has really kind of died down. Did we hear anything like that out of Lowe's?
No, not really. I was going quickly trying to go through the release. Nothing really in particular like Home Depot's, but once we get to like Dick's Sporting Goods, which is coming up, we have some talk about, because theft is really hurting them in the comment that they made. So we'll get to that in a minute. But Macy's reported earnings, ticker M, EPS 26 cents, estimates for 13 cents, sales $5.13 billion, estimates for $5.09 billion, gross margin rate 38.1%, down from 38.9% year over year. Merchandise inventories down 10% year over year. All right, Dick's Sporting Goods really getting hit hard this morning. I believe down 19% at last check. DKS, adjusted EPS $2.82. Estimates for $3.81. Sales $3.22 billion. Estimate was for $3.23 billion. They see full year. They see comparable sales flat to 2%. They lower their full year 23 guide to $11.50 to $12.30. Estimate was for $13.50. The big comment here is basically theft and also inventory shrinking. Again, we've seen this with many companies, but that comment is really getting attention given they missed on EPS by a whole $1. So just watch Dick's Sporting Goods. I don't know, Ryan, if you have a comment, but again, we've been reiterating these thefts have to stop. You're on mute.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, I wish I had a comment that was worth something. I completely agree with you. I mean, it obviously needs to stop. It's not necessarily the company. I think the company's telling you what's going on. There's going to need to be a shift in thinking about how the stuff's being handled. But again, my comments on this really don't amount to a hill of beans. We'll see what ends up happening going forward.
I was going to say, we actually got some details on an IPO yesterday. ARM, which is owned by SoftBank, they filed on Monday to list on the NASDAQ. The UK-based chip designer is looking to go public during a historically slow period for IPOs. Remember, SoftBank agreed to acquire ARM for $32 billion in 2016. The company wants to trade under the ticker ARM. ARM did not provide a projected share price, so it's not yet possible to estimate its valuation. Reuters is also reporting last night that healthcare software firm Waystar is eyeing an $8 billion IPO valuation here in the U.S. That's according to sources. Waystar's owners, buyout firm EQTAB and Canada Pension Plan Investment Board have hired Goldman Sachs and JP Morgan to be advised on the listing, the sources are saying. The IPO could come later this year or early next year, subject to market conditions. Sources are requesting just to be anonymous, just because the matter is confidential. The valuation at 10 will also be subject to market conditions. And we are open 9:30. We'll cycle through some other news items. I don't know, Ryan, if you saw LGIM, the long Kramer tracker ETF, is going to be closed and liquidated. Last day of trading will be September 11th.
Is SGIM staying open?
Yes.
So only one side. So you can only short Kramer through the ETFs then, huh? That's what
yes.
Seems interesting.
Basically, Matthew Tuttle of the organization of Tuttle Capital that has long Jim basically just says that CNBC and Kramer aren't being, I don't know if the fair would be transparent, but they're not being they're not talking to them to talk about the trades that Kramer is making. So he says there's basically no point in having a long Jim open. So they're just going to close it. But September 11th is the key date there. But SGIM will still be open.
Okay, good stuff. I'm getting some crazy. Oh, okay. I think it was just your mic there. All right. APLD first move here was up. This now yanking. We're actually right back to the VWAP, it looks like, and also to the bottom of the Bollinger Band. I don't really see anything out. Let's take a look at FULC. That was one from the list. This one looking pretty good. Yeah, FULC, this is moving above its VWAP here. All right, might try some of this FULC. We'll see here. Really need to push through 560, I think. Let me see if I can zoom in here. Oh, we're getting it. We are getting it. Let's see if we can move up here. FULC. Feeling actually a little bit heavy. Up, there we go. It's kind of all over the place. Pull back to the VWAP here. All right, so you would definitely want to be careful with this one. This one moving around all over. A breakdown from VWAP would probably have to cut this. We'll see if we go higher here. Feels a little bit heavy on FULC. This might be coming back towards the VWAP here. I just don't want to get faked out and kill it on a push. That's one of the things that's been happening to me recently is there's been shaking me out of some of these trades here and then going, and that's what I'm trying to avoid. One of the strategies for handling that is that I'm actually using less of a position size to kind of stay in there. So I'm not really concerned if the stock drops from my entry. We'll see if this breaks down from VWAP at 550. Rigetti being mentioned by Marty. We will check that out here in a sec as well. FULC trying to go higher here from that 560 spot. We'll see. Breaking down. See what FULC gets going here. Let me see. I don't have that on the scanner. Let's check Rigetti, though. RGTI still keeping an eye on FULC here. Rigetti moving down here. Don't see the setup on Rigetti, at least not yet. FULC a little bit of a push higher there. We'll see if that can keep going. This should, I'll tell you what, looking at this chart formation, this move above 567 sure looks like it wants to do this. Volume here looks good as well. We'll see if we get that. A nice move through 567 here. We'll take this off, or at least I will. I'll wait for a setup here. This has been all over the place. There we go. 567 up. Oh, nope. Yanked back. Man, this is wild. This is some back and forth. I'd actually like something that's a little bit easier than this. Nick, this is your last full show. That makes me sad too, man.
I'll be joining. You left early yesterday. I told Mitch I'll be joining Thursday morning just to go over NVIDIA earnings, and then I'm heading out. But I can't skip NVIDIA earnings with you guys.
Yeah, okay. I appreciate that.
Ryan, I don't know if you saw, but S&P downgraded more banks today. They lowered grades on Key Corp, Comerica, Valley National Bank Corp, UMB Financial, Associated Bank Corp, and they also lowered its outlook for River City Bank and S&T Bank, and its view of Zion's Bancorp remains negative after the review.
Are we surprised by that, or I feel like, is that what we were kind of expecting?
But it's very interesting that they focused on like Key Corp, Comerica, and they didn't really downgrade like Bank of America, JP Morgan, like the big banks. But they say noting the impact of higher interest rates and deposit moves across the industry. That's the reason for the downgrade. And then they says, Zion's Bancorp, they're remaining negative. It's going to be very interesting to see how the big banks hold up. JP Morgan, Bank of America, Goldman Sachs. Yesterday, I didn't know this until it was pointed this out on CNBC. Over a five-year chart. Out
full FULC here, by the way. So that actually worked. Those of you patient enough to wait for this high at daybreak, let's go. Let's see if this comes back in and resets. Nick, I'm sorry for interrupting.
It's okay.
We're 1 for 1 on the trades here today. Let's go.
That's good. I was going to say Morgan Stanley is outpacing Goldman Sachs 2 times. Morgan Stanley is up 80% over a 5-year chart, and Goldman's only up 40% over a 5-year chart. So something to just keep in mind. Who's winning the battle? Is it James Gorman or is it David Solomon?
Isn't David Solomon a DJ in his off time now?
I don't know. I didn't know.
I'm pretty sure he is. If
DJ David,
back,
DJ Solomon.
DJ Solomon.
But we do know that James Gorman of Morgan Stanley is stepping down this year, sometime before year end. And so there's going to be a reshuffling of the board, probably of who's taking what for the CEO. Okay. Those announcements will probably be coming sometime into year end, Q3 or Q4. I expect Q4, as they say, they're trying to nail down the transition changes.
Can you still hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I'm still working with this mic. See, I actually think that this is a little bit better. By the way, FULC pulled back to that 560 area. So this telling me something here. We might have more opportunities at this name, but I'm going to be sure to take my gains when I get them. I'm really, really happy with the quick trigger on the upside. I'm actually really happy that I was able to wait out that initial down move and wait for the pop that I thought was coming here. Really trying to work on not getting shaken from some of these trades. That worked out here. FULC coming back in. This might actually set up and give us another opportunity here. I kind of want to wait for that to settle out here. I got the view app at 556. We just plunged to it. Let's see if we end up breaking down beneath that here.
All right, guys, here, ready. Got some coffee in me. Focus. Let's do this, guys. First day always on account. Got to take it easy. Little part of me was happy.
Yeah, Mitch, I don't know if I told you here. I appreciate all the work that you've done to help me out here. I walked out of my account this morning. So unfortunately, I'm not prepared to trade the prop account today. We will go through that.
Worries.
I'm going to join you here, but I agree with you. Take it slow early on. The last thing you want to do is wipe yourself out on day one, man.
Yeah. How'd you lock yourself out, Ryan?
You know what? The sign up process was a bit confusing, and the account online has a different username than the application account, and I think that I just kind of got confused. It's my fault. It's not Trade the Pool's fault. Let's be very, very clear here. This was user error, locking myself out, but I think that's how it happened. So,
well, guys, I can tell you right now, StockS starting the day off really well. What happened to Nvidia there? What happened, Bulls?
Mitch, one of the things I said when you were away was does this market reverse? You talk about those reversal points all the time. I'm getting hurt because I'm short Nvidia, but I'm gonna think, or I think that this might end up reversing. So let's see.
That was
let's
a
see
hit.
If that sticks.
There out the open. Like, how do you stay long on that one? If you bought it in the pre-market, you're just like with your face, just like them eyes, just the cartoon eyes right now. You know the cartoon eyes.
Oh, where they're like bug out of your
Yeah,
head.
exactly. That's exactly what's
SOUN,
happening
Becca,
right now.
great shout here. SOUN up to that 250 area. There's some size there at 250 if they take it.
Let's see if I
SOUN.
have sound on here. Yeah, I got sound. I got the sound. I got the hound.
Watch AMC. AMC was halted. It's back up. It's
Whoa.
resumed trading again. So watch AMC.
Oh, man, it's getting the plunger put on it. What's going on? Is Ape going up on this? No, Ape is also getting hit.
Ape is also getting hit.
Normally, sometimes you see like a negative correlation on these, and then like you'll see it like, you know, kind of go up here, but hey. If they're both going to get hit, that's a dangerous move there at AMC. I wouldn't play that. Personally, my idea here, just my outlook, I wouldn't play this because, like, at least if I saw Ape going up, I could understand the trade. Okay, so the pairs trade here, short AMC, long Ape, you know, kind of that action. But the truth is, if they're both going down, there's something bad that's happening there. I don't know what it is, but it ain't looking bueno.
Watch Microsoft and ATVI. We learned this morning at like 2:10 Eastern time when I was half asleep that they're doing a new deal for UK to approve. Microsoft on Tuesday submitted a new deal to the UK regulators for the takeover of Activision Blizzard after the rejection of its initial proposal. On Tuesday, the UK's Competition and Markets Authority confirmed it has blocked the original deal. Under the restructured deal, Microsoft will not acquire cloud rights for existing Activision PC and console games or for new games released by Activision during the next 15 years, the CMA said. So that's the UK's Competition and Markets Authority.
Nick, the notable piece of news there is that you were only half asleep at 2:10 in the morning.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I wanted to mention. That's the only thing I focused on since he started. I'm sorry, team. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Oh.
It's a habit that I get up in the middle of the night and check Twitter, and it's like, that's a bad idea.
Let me ask you a question, though. Are you checking threads in the middle of the night?
No.
Okay.
I'm on Threads, but I rarely use it. I was on it for the first time.
I'll be honest. I haven't been on Threads in 3 weeks, guys.
Okay.
You're not even on Threads, are you, Mitch? You don't even have Instagram.
I have one now. I actually have a Thread account, but I have an Instagram account too, and I switched it. But Instagram believes the fake guy more than they believe the real guy.
Oh, that's right. Oh, that's Ryan that doesn't.
That's what happens.
That's Ryan that's completely off Instagram.
No, I have a fake. I have a fake that has more people than I have followers on Twitter.
Right. He's aware. I'm the one that does not have an account. Nick, you're correct.
Yes, that's right.
Nick, you are correct. FULC, by the way, looks like it's trying to pop and go higher.
I don't think Instagram's that good anymore, is it?
You don't think Threads, once they launch the web app, will take over?
I mean, they need to, at least to see what's going to happen, right? I'm watching NVIDIA here, guys, to see if this is going to keep going lower. I'm also taking a look at basic materials. They're up today. Industrials bouncing today. So who knows? Maybe I come after deer on the day trade action today. Of course, I got stopped out on the swing trade action yesterday, but it's coming back today. We'll see if industrials go into the green here. Financial services going red there, and I'm keeping an eye on to see if the banks are going to drag us today. I talked about that on pre-market prep. Nick, who called it? S&P Global coming in with the downgradings. Remember we talked about the banks?
Yes.
There you go. Two or 3 days later, kapow, comes the catalyst, right? And now I'm watching to see if we could continue downside in the banks today, like the KRE now going back down. That could have been a little bit of a bull trap at the open. I think this is what could be dragging the market today and taking us down and at least turning around some of the tech rallies. So another play could be Success, right, on pullback. So Success ripped out the gates. I talked about that before in the pre-market. We already got to move to 1014. If I can get a pullback here to like 994, 996, that looks pretty decent here on Success. That could be a day trade vehicle. We'll see what happens here.
And by the way, real quick, I just took the gains off on FULC. So the pattern here is really, really working. Wait for this to kind of come back in towards the support. Hit it on the way back up. Out again here, 2 for 2 on FULC here today.
I was going to make the point, guys. It's interesting that S&P Global downgraded like community banks, and they didn't go for like the big ones. Bank of America, JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs. They went for like a lot of the community banks. But You know, my bank's Huntington. It's a great bank. I hope it doesn't get downgraded. Just saying, just because that's where all my money is. So,
You'll be all right, kid. You'll be all right.
Stick with.
So I have a car loan through Huntington. I have no money deposited there, but I have my car loan through Huntington. So, and by the way, I've never missed a payment. So I am not one of the people struggling to pay them the money that they owed.
All right, so I'm seeing a little bit of a rule up 3 here. I'm going to see if I can get a little bit of a pullback fill here, closer towards 68.50s on BJ for the move higher. BJ Wholesales Club trying to get that money. Looking around, team, looking for opportunities. I'm also seeing opportunities in coal. I was looking at BTU. So BTU seems interesting to me. Coal's starting to get back up here, and that keeps me in mind is how's oil doing today? Oil actually looking pretty good here on XOM. Let's go to the WTI. Let me just take a peek, see if we're starting to get above that 80 spot. We're just battling the 80 spot right now. It can go either way, I feel like, in oil right now. And so at least the stocks today look bullish, but the futures don't look bullish. And so sometimes I try to compare them, right? They're not always going to go hand in hand. That's one thing that I'll say too. You could sometimes see the stocks lead, and all of a sudden you start seeing the futures lead. So I know that sometimes say that, you know, that the futures have to go up if the stocks are going to go up. No, that doesn't work. It's just relationships, guys. Keep them in mind. MDT being mentioned in the chat. That's one to keep an eye out for, right? Medtronic, nice little pullback there to 83.80s. Now I feel like this is creating a little bit of a trend line. I wouldn't mind kind of keeping an eye on this. You know, this isn't looking too bad here. Let me draw that line here. So like you could see, like to me, it's going to run into resistance right here at this 84.40s, maybe pull back and create a little bit more of that rule of 3 here. So I'd look to see where support is being held, right? So we had this move all the way back towards 83.75. We'll see if we get through that level. But I'd look for another pullback towards like 84s, 83.90s here. If I could attack this support, I wouldn't mind it. So that's this support right here, 83.94s. Let me know if these lines are thick enough, because I might have to start making them thicker. You know how it is.
I can see them with no issue, but I think it's the color that's really helping me. I guess those blue lines are a little bit tougher to see because they blend in with the blue. Yeah,
I'll try to do like a yellow or something like that really stands out.
FULC trying to go higher here, 590, your intraday high. I got no position as of right now, but this looking like this is going to try to go higher. We get any type of pullback to the VWAP, I'm likely going to load this again here for a third round. FULC, this is right off the list here. Been doing a good job so far.
FULC?
Yep.
Look, it's tradable, baby.
Uh-oh.
You know what that
By the
means.
way, this VFS, wasn't this one of these EV IPOs recently? VFS? Or am I mixing this up with a different ticker? Yeah, I think this was one of those recent IPOs. Curling here, looking like maybe this is going to try to trade back up.
I like that pullback on the hourly today, or on the 530s level. So that was a really nice level where it cut through in the morning and then just recovered 530s.
Yep.
So a move back to where I could risk off of that would make sense for me. It already did that move. That was kind of like this 555 move. So now you're looking at more like the
bang, there it is.
break.
There's your new high. So that actually printed up to 595, 594, 595 right now. So that did break the new high here. This at this point, Mitch, I think we need a pullback here. This is kind of what I'm waiting for.
Yeah, I would be looking for the momentum break of 6. Like there's scalpers playing that, I'm sure, right now.
Yeah, I'm sure there are. Exactly.
And so that's what I would be seeing right now. The scalpers are going to play the 6, try to pop. Maybe you see it pop above 6, but just be careful for the pop above where it gets the offer, takes some volume, and comes right back down.
That's exactly what I'm trying to avoid. That's why I'm not playing this break.
You see, Ryan, I've seen that play before.
Yeah. Once you get hurt by that, you remember. It's not fun.
Yeah, that's why I don't play that scalp of 6.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like it's going to break it, but is that enough there? Is there enough meat on the bone? That's what you got to ask yourself.
There it is. 604 is where it went to. Immediately
and then
pulled back here to 6.
Immediately right below 6, right? Like that's how you get caught. Dude, I got caught so bad. like that.
That's not even the dirty one. The dirty one is where they yank it back 30 cents. If this was printing 570s right now,
Yeah.
that's where it's really, really dirty. But we'll see. This is going higher here. FULC looks really good. Volume's really good. Remember, 649 was your pre-market high. That looks in play here. For sure.
That's definitely doing well there. BTU starting to get moving. I'm going to get back to my kind of plays, but I'll kick it to you, Ryan, if you want to keep talking about that one.
I'm good right here. I'm at this point now, Mitch. I'm waiting for a pullback. I really don't want to buy this extended chart, even if it does trade back up there. So I'll alert you here if we get any type of pullback, because I'll likely try this for a third time here today. Got a little bit of profit built up now, so I feel like I can, even if I don't make the greatest trade, I'll still be in good shape.
I was going to say, if you could throw up a chart of Charles Schwab, we learned yesterday they're going to be planning to cut jobs and close or downsize offices to achieve at least $500 million in annual cost savings as the brokerage responds to investor pressure. The company will close or cut down on some real estate and reduce employment headcount. Westlake, Texas-based Schwab said Monday in a regulatory filing. Schwab said it will incur costs of roughly $400 million to $500 million. Quote, primarily related to employee compensation and benefits and facility exit costs, end quote, as a result of the cuts.
I feel like that should be good for the stock. AAOI being mentioned here by Jay, hitting the scanners on a new high at daybreak. Looks like this took out our pre-market here and pulled back. AAOI moving higher here.
MDT right back down. So I'm going to keep an eye on that one.
Possible breakout here on AAOI on the 15-minute chart. This sure looks good, Jay. This was a good spot, man. FULC continuing its march higher here. Yeah, FULC. This is definitely going to go try for that pre-market.
All right, guys, we got our first trade on here on Trade the Pool, baby. So I'm just getting a little bit here of MDT. So took a little bit there at the 83.93s. Now looking for it to hold at the next layer of support, which would be right here in the 53 spot. So as long as it can hold like kind of 50s right now, we're good. I'm going to start adding to this, but I want to add to it slowly as it comes down here and then turns back around through 84s. So if I can get into like the low 70s right now, I'll add. I want to get up to about 100 shares here and just work the position. So let's see if we can get a little bit of a tick down here, and then I'll try to add a little bit more in the 70s, and then hold off the 50.
So you went with a 25 share position here on MDT?
Yep, and I just added there. Now I'm at 50 shares.
Okay.
You guys will see it at the bottom here. Now I'm trying to work it up to about 100, right? And so right there, I'm only risking $9 right now. I'm only down $9, right? So just trying to be slow into the name is going to help me here. So a lot of the times I try to stay on stocks on the 5-minute, right? And so that's where I should be right now. So just kind of slowly letting this kind of build right here off the support and then get back around. So it could do a little wick here and then turn back. On the next 5-minute candle, we want to see a bullish engulfing come right back. I'm going to look for a bullish engulfing candle back to this trend line and taking it out.
You got Teva moving for the highs. That might be a test at that round number at 10 on Teva.
So another good thing that I like that just to like give you guys some good stuff to look for and trade the pool. So at the bottom right of the chart, it has a countdown for when the next candle is going to come. So about 1:42, you'll see that change. So now that we're recovering to the 75s, that looks good for me. Now I'm going to look for a little bit of a click back down to low 70s to add another 25. So now I can even like kind of put the order out there. Start layering in some orders for pullbacks. You see how it's already coming up, but I'm going to be still looking for pullbacks to get filled. All right, now that we're almost back to 84s, I'm going to look for another pullback to get filled. So I have 2 orders out there. Those are the limits that you see out there. And what I like about Trade the Pool is you can actually pull them down right on the chart. You could trade them off the chart.
Mm-hmm.
So you know how some chart services have this where like I could pull the limit
Thinkorswim has
down.
that. Yep, Thinkorswim does the same thing. I really like that too.
So I could separate them and be like, okay, well, those look a little bit too close. So you know what? Let me pull it down by a couple cents. So now I have some layer on the pullback if I do get filled on this pullback. So there you go. I get the first order filled, and you guys see my positions this line right here, the 75s. So at the 80 spot. All right, so I still have one more limit that I could fill. I have 75 shares. Now I'm going to look for this to get green on the next candle. That's 13 seconds. When it opens up, I'm going to look for a green candle back up to take out the highs.
Okay, I joined you on this trade just because you got me so excited here. Long 83, 84, Mitch. Let's go.
Let's go. What I like about it is just it's at least symmetrical. You know what I mean? And yeah, I'm risking what, $30 here. If it goes back up to 84.40s, it's not going to be looking too bad. That's 60 cents on the upside. Can make $60 here. Let's do it.
And we're right here at VWAP too, so totally possible that this thing bounces right here.
And I'm taking it easy because I could add another 25 shares, right? I don't have the 100 shares. I only have 75 right now. Normally, eventually, I'm going to try to get up to, like, on this position, probably I would say about 200 shares. But first day one, I'm just trying to look to see if healthcare can continue in the green. So that's another big thing, right? You guys know I'm always about staying with the sectors, and healthcare is the green sector from the open. There's nothing else. Now energy slightly getting green from the open. Defensive's coming back. So that also tells me to keep an eye on maybe BJ. That's one that I want to maybe grab here through 68.50s. It is holding up right now. If I can see defensive start going green, and maybe some of these discount stores start going green, like I see Walmart starting to go green from the open. So I'm looking to see if Costco can go green from the open. That could give me the signal to go and maybe go for BJ. Of course, it had earnings today. That's why I'm in MDT too, because I think people are looking at this earnings report. It got a little bit hit this morning, and a lot of people were looking at what? They were looking at tech this morning. They weren't necessarily looking at like medical devices. So that's why I'm also in this play. A little bit on some other side. We'll see what happens, right? The only thing you can always do, guys, is take your shots, know your levels, and then from there, stick to your game.
Yeah, real quick, number of things to mention here. First of all, SPY on the lows. That's still pushing lower. Jay here in the chat calling it NVIDIA and AMD nasty reversals. They tried to bounce. That bounce barely lasted 5 minutes before that thing got swallowed
Pinkies up, man.
And remember, this is why when I woke up this morning and saw NVIDIA gapping the new highs here, I wasn't really going to panic on that short because I'm hoping for some of this to come back in. I'm sized in such a way where I'm not really getting my doors blown off. So NVIDIA coming back in here, that's looking pretty good. We'll see. Craig mentioning that Target is getting smoked yet again. Remember, there are a couple people saying Target, the worst might be past it, and then it might be time to bounce. Target telling you, no, sir, we're going to go lower here. This looks like this is actually a break lower here on Target. Jay Rice, I'd be shocked if you're not in this puts lower here on Target. This to me looks like next spot we're probably going on Target. 115 would be my target. That's another 8 points from where we're at right now.
All right, guys, I just raised my limit a little bit towards the 83.73s here as I'm starting to see it go green, and now I want to see the takeoff. So a little part of me is like, okay, just fill me on small pullback here, and I can hold towards the low now. I even move my stop up towards that candle to the left that I have, and I'll show you guys that right quick here. So you can see the low here is what? 83.57. It has it in the top left corner for you guys that use Trade the Pull. So 83.57 is going to be the risk now, and I'm trying to add on any small pullback there. It's already back towards almost 84s. So what I'll do now is I'll add at my break-even price right now, which is right here, 83.80s. So you guys see me start going into the green now. I'm not going to chase and add at the 84s because that's going to move my average up right now, and I don't want to ruin my average. Maybe improve it or keep it where it is. That's the only thing I'm thinking about on that pullback. Maybe improve it or leave it where it is. So right now it's leave it where it is. If I get filled there, it just won't move, right? It'll just be right there at that average price. Now I'm going to look for the upside move through 84 to hold. Really a close above on the 5-minute candle above 84 will have me feeling more confident. And it really wants to take out this trend line.
Really a great job of you building your position under the breakout spot. So as it continued to hold and you kept adding shares, you're actually giving yourself a better cost. Now we're getting that move up to 84. Let's see if we move through it. I think what you want to see that yellow trend line fall, right, Mitch? You want to see that
Exactly.
stock push up to that price, break that. Would you close the trade there? What are you doing at that point?
Yeah, so the first spot to look at is profit take into this area, and so that's one thing that I'd be looking at, the first profit take into the 84.40 area. And so I'm using the circle to draw that area for you guys, and that's going to be like the first resistance that I could see. And why? That's this big bar to the left. The big bar on MDT stopped at where? It stopped at 84.36 exactly, that 35. So somewhere in there, I'm looking to take some profit. From that point, I'd look for the expansion move to the higher spot, which is 84.77. And then I could look for what? I could measure this whole flag and look for the expansion move. But that's if we're really seeing momentum just take off. Another thing that I'm looking at is look at the volume. Volume is slowly declining here. Now only 19,000 shares on that candle. When it goes to the breakout spot around like 84.20s, I want to start seeing this volume come back towards like 42,000 or 66,000, showing me that there's buying through the levels and through resistance.
Real good job here on the move through 84, Mitch. Let's see what happens when we get up to that trend line. I'm glad I jumped on the back of your trade. I'm definitely biting off your trade here, Mitch, but I'm going to take that. I'm gonna take it.
All right, so now that we're above 84s and holding, and that candle closed where? That candle closed at 84.01. Really good, strong point. I'm actually canceling my order here because me filling there is kind of like a pullback where it instantly would go into risk. Just leave that. 75 shares is going to be the position here. Now just focus on what? Risk to reward. At this point, we should kind of stay above VWAP. VWAP is around exactly. I'm trying to give you guys the exact here. They have it at 83.74. So 83.74 should hold around that level now. Now, if I want to add, that'd be probably the area to add on pullbacks. I wouldn't want it to break this, even this low here, which is 83.64.
Glutamus Maximus bringing up an interesting thing here. Now, Mitch, I know that this might be completely separate from your trade plan, so let's be very, very careful about that. But Glutus is saying MDT is likely to get upgrades tomorrow. I'm wondering where that edge comes from. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just wondering where it comes from. Gluteus is swinging it. Now, I think the important thing here, Mitch, for us to discuss is what was your trade plan going into this, right? Were you planning on swinging this, or was this a short-term trade from the outset?
Yeah, this is just a day trade action off of the earnings report, but it's also based off of what's going on in the day, right? What am I seeing that's going on in the day? Well, I'm seeing that tech's getting hit. That's for sure. That's the leading sector to the downside with consumer cyclical. And so with that being mentioned, I'm looking for strength anywhere in the market. Where do I see strength? I go to healthcare, and that was in the green. And then if I look at what's in the green from the open, that's medical devices. And the top stocks in medical devices are MDT and ABT. Take a look at ABT's chart. I'm going to do a quick look through so I can watch this, but look at this, guys.
And real quick, while you're setting that chart up, good shout here by Becca. AMC, which is getting the news here, this is halted up. So AMC has been halted 3 times today. It appears as if it's coming up off the lows. So keep that in mind here. Good shout, Becca. Let us know when this opens up again, if you can.
All right. I'm liking the action that's actually happening on MDT. Now you're getting the move slightly below the 84s. Wouldn't want it to ruin the higher lows pattern. You hear this all the time. A lot of traders talk about higher lows. Now that's what I'm looking for. Can I just continue the pattern of higher lows and then just get this to break out to the 84.40s? All right, and ABT is looking like it wants another high there too. And so Abbott Labs in that medical devices space getting a nice little push today. And you can look at another one there, DXCM, that Dexcom. That's off the VWAP. That's an interesting play there. I like that name in medical devices also. So a lot of the times I'm just trying to stick to where I see green from the open. Let me trade where the green is if I'm trying to trade long, right?
VFS, great call there, Jay Wild. VFS really pushing through the high that it set out of the open on expanding volume. Jay,
I don't have that one at least. that
no,
crazy.
It's okay. But this one, the key point here is that we identified this right out of the open. We came back. We did actually break beneath the VWAP. Not a whole lot. Really kind of came into the bottom end of the Bollinger Band. But we really got that volume expansion that has been key for all of our short-term trades here. VFS stopping at around 24. We'll see if that actually pushes through 24. Great call here, Jay. Yeah, Jay, the other Jay. We got Jay and Jay out here. Jay, I'm in the same boat, man. I think AMC is garbage too. The reality is that the stock's moving around. And, you know, I mean, I've said it before, I'll trade garbage. If I think I can squeeze a profit out of something, I'll trade garbage. I'm not in AMC. I'm not really looking at it given some of the other candidates that we have here. But worth mentioning, definitely worth mentioning here. Nick, let me ask you, what prompted the Detective Sipowicz look today? The short sleeves with the tie, that is known as the Detective Sipowicz from NYPD Blue. I'm just wondering if there was something that kind of prompted it. What happened?
No, I am a person that gets hot very quickly, and I'm not a friend of long sleeves. And so short sleeves, I mean, I'm still hot in short sleeves anyways, but it's like 86 here, 87 in Pittsburgh. It is hot here in Pittsburgh. We had this spike of, it was like 70s last week, and then we have this spike of like almost near 90s. You know, I don't know if that's the time to pull off the pumpkin spice for next week when it's back down to 70s.
All right, guys, I will say that NVIDIA is starting to make its way, it looks like, back to VWAP. I'll look to see if it makes its way back up there. Recovery of 474 is where I'd be careful, those bears out there, because if it starts recovering then you can start making your way back to opening price. 480 recovery would definitely be the sign of concern. That's like a, oh my God, be careful, don't get your face ripped off kind of concern for me. That's just the way I'm looking at it. But of course, what am I focused on? MDT, trying to get this first trade, baby.
Look at the formation it's making, too. Look at the formation that it's making.
Do we know the rule of three? Has anyone talked about the rule of three?
You might have to tell us about it.
Yeah, I don't know anything about the rules.
I mean,
this is why I'm taking this trade, too, guys.
Kaludia says, I love Sipowicz. Yeah, that was an endearing comment. That was not a slight by any means.
No, not at all. And the short sleeves, why not?
By the way, AMC opened Becca. Good call on AMC.
What's the rule of three? I don't think you've ever talked about that on this show.
I didn't even think I need to do it today. I didn't even think I need to do it. Just like Jason said, I don't even need to do it, man. He knows it.
MDT, let's go higher here.
Yeah, let's just leave it. And I think what I feel good about now is that, like, this is playing like to me, playing it the right way. No matter what happens now, even if it doesn't go right now, it's kind of like one of those trades that you can just be like, give yourself a pat on the back regardless. You played it well.
Well, I'll tell you this,
executed.
Mitch. I can throw a stop out here so that this trade can't go red on me. At this point now, I mean, I can make sure that I don't lose money on this trade. So, I mean, that's what I would do here. Just to, in fact, let me. I'm gonna stop talking about it. I'm just gonna do it.
Hey, just focus on you, baby.
Yeah, I mean, I want more profit than and just as I'm getting Kim's all the way back down to the buy price, I'm actually going to stay in.
Talk too much, man.
Yeah, I totally jinxed myself there, man. I totally jinxed myself there.
Yeah, I'm actually willing to add my 25 shares, especially at break even. So
you know what's great here, Mitch, is that the longer that we kind of stay in this range, it's actually dragging the VWAP up to where our entry point is, and that's going to make it really easy to trade off of. I should say easier to trade off.
Yeah, it actually, when it went last time to the bid, it went bid right at the VWAP. And so what does that tell me? That was more like algos reloading at VWAP. All right. A lot of times I tell you guys, when I day trade, I'm thinking like an algo. When I swing trade, I'm thinking institution. That's why I love swing trading. I will say that again. But
VFS. Oh.
Hey, speaking of algos taking over there, Ryan. that
Oh
looking?
man, I mean, this thing's just look. The volume's telling the story. The volume has stayed high since the expansion move. The price continues to move north here. We're going to be knocking on the door at 26 here pretty soon. This already printing 25s, I believe. Right? Yeah, this last candle printed above 25. Yeah, high at 25.14 here. Let's see. VFS, this looking real strong here today. Jay saying MDT, good chance it fills the gap to 89.90, in my opinion. Might take a few days or a week, but Jay Rice actually likes this on a slightly longer term than what we're talking about here, Mitch.
Well, to tell you the truth, we won't be mad about that, Jay.
No, sir.
Like I always say, man, there's always two sides of the trades too, you know, and we'll see what happens, right? The reason why I'm also going after this play is like we talked about it, right? And tech is still getting hit there. Nvidia didn't make its way back to the VWAP. It's actually looking like it might make another attempt to bounce again. And one thing that I'd start looking at is, like I've been mentioning, hourly supports. Qs are still weak too. 364.66 made its move up to the 9, rejected back down. This is why I felt like tech could go red today. I don't know. I was leaning like that on pre-market prep, and it just felt like, I don't know, this was a little bit too much exuberance for that Nvidia earnings. And then, like always, you know, it's going to try to wash some people out. Does it mean that Nvidia doesn't just keep going higher? It could very well keep going higher. So that's why I'm not also short Nvidia.
Do you think, Mitch, that maybe the market isn't waiting for NVIDIA Wednesday night and we're all waiting for Powell on Friday?
Well, no, what I think could happen there is that, so like the market likes to play this little game right now. And so it could be like kind of like a really good day, really good Monday, right, for NVIDIA. Then it just kind of like stops some of those people out. Then it goes into like a Wednesday, really good day. And then who knows? Maybe that's a little bit of a trap. And then it comes down, right? And then it goes back up at the open on like Friday or like Thursday. And then Powell comes in on Friday and then Powell's the market down again. So this is the problem with trying to call like long-term direction, because the truth is there's always going to be a new catalyst that's coming. That's one thing that you're pointing out, Nick. As soon as we're done with NVIDIA, guess what? Now it's, oh my God, but what's Powell going to say at Jackson Hole?
Is it going to be longer than last year, 8 minutes? I don't know. I mean,
ooh, confidence coming into this pattern now. Ryan, should I step up to the plate? I'm feeling it a little bit. I'm feeling it.
I mean, Mitch, do you even think Christine Lagarde of ECB is worth listening to Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern time?
Could be.
That sounded like a trick question. I thought he was setting you up there.
No, it's a general question, because then there's also Fed speakers. I think there's even a few more over the weekend, Saturday and Sunday. But do you really think ECB is worth listening to? I mean, Euro and that area over there has had some sticky inflation.
I always think we lead. So if they want to lead some other way, that's when things are different. That's when I'd pay attention. If you see any like major disagreement from how the way we're running things, that's when I pay attention to it, Nick. So to like put it into context so that you could put everything in that pile, you get what I mean? So that's the way I would think about it. If it is any big difference in our policy, then you pay attention to it. But if it's similar, then I don't think we really need to focus too much about it, because that shows us that we lead a lot of the times.
True, but their inflation is sticky. I think still.
Yes, without a doubt.
Right, but the question is, where does Powell go from here? Where does September lead us? To a pause, to a hike? Where does November lead us? To a pause?
I think we're in a pause. We're in a pause state of mind, but the pause isn't enough also to save the markets right now, I think. And I think that's another thing, right? Some people are thinking that the pause could save the market. The truth is that the market really wants to come down, come back, and these like high tech valuations actually do come back. That's a problem. Big run really quickly on the Qs back to the VWAP. Now this is where we start paying attention. Do we get a reversal on the day? What time is it? It's 10:13, right? We can always get reversals. That's when you got to be careful, traders. So pay attention. Right now, take a look at some indexes, pay attention to see what happens there. but we are seeing a slight little bit of a change here. And I'm going to set some more tabs here so that I can kind of give you guys some more workspace and trade the pool and show you guys different charts and stuff like that.
I'm going to do it too,
Mitch.
I'm going to help you.
Yeah. We'll get it set up. You can see you can load, remove workspaces. You can add more. There's a lot to do it. The key also is learning everything that we can do here. So you can also use like long positions like this and kind of see where you're long, kind of understand like what your risk and reward profiles are. I think that's a really good feature that I'm going to learn how to use and start showing you guys that. So you guys can see the risk and reward right on the screen. We can draw it out and then try to nail things down. I think it's very important to try to get to the point where you're really objective in your system, not subjective.
Sydney's saying Ryan is ready to caddy for Powell. Let me tell you something, Sydney. If I caddied for Powell, he'd throw me off the course because by the second hole, I'd be giving him a piece of my mind about the whole transitory nonsense, where he should be going. I would be thrown off there. He'd be looking for help, like how far he is from the green, and I'd be out here telling him that his decision from 2 years ago was trash. He would Ryan, not like it at all.
You see him switch clubs, and you're going to be like, is that transitory?
Is 3% the new 2%?
I mean, this 3% the new 2%. I mean, the jokes would be never ending. He would be so tired of me.
And then you can give him
call him the big bad wolf in his face. I'd call him the big bad wolf. I'd be like, "What's up, big bad wolf? How you doing?"
I mean, we do know he does go to concerts. He was at a concert sometime in the summer. That was trending on Twitter for a while, but no one went up to ask him, "Hey, what's the policy going on?" They just let him go on his little merry way.
Well, guys, I'm getting a little bit of a turnaround here as tech's coming back really strong, and that could actually bring healthcare to the red. We'll see if it goes into the red here, but tech coming back, so just be careful out there. We'll see if it actually turns here. So now
Mitch,
I want to see this start to hold in the here.
Chat. There's a good question in the chat for you or Ryan. What's the best trading platform to use? I'm in the UK. Warren Bruce.
That's going to all depend on your own outlook, because the truth is that it depends on how you trade, right? So just be careful out here, guys. Definitely getting a quick downturn here, so just got to set my stop and be ready to get out on this trade if I need to.
I was stopped out, by the way. Stopped out.
Of course, that action. I'm sure that action was really quickly there, and so just got to focus on here. Let me just set this up. All right, so there you guys see it. I set a stop there at the 83.45 spot. So if I need to get out there, I'll just get out. If this is a little bit of a wick trick, I'll let it go through. If not, I'll get out of the trade. But now I can address that a little bit more. So it's just going to depend on your trading strategies. And so a lot of the times, like some traders need fast execution. They need it. Like scalpers, they need it. They got to have it. And then some traders don't need fast execution. They're okay with giving up, a penny or two, 3, 4, 5 pennies. Doesn't bother them, right? Like let's say on my swing trading action, 4 pennies is not going to do a difference to me, man. I'm not going to not get out of a name because of 4 pennies. I'll tell you that much. And so that it all depends on your style of trading, and then you'll find something that works. Like always, you're going to have to check out multiple. And if we gave you the best, it might not be the best for your trading strategy. So that's why we're not going to go ahead and mention some. There you guys see me stopped out there, guys. Stopped out on the first trade, and sometimes it happens. Stopped out there at 83.45, and this could come back later in the day. And that doesn't mean that we can't take more trades because the Qs came right back down. So it seems like it's still a little bit of a weak day. We'll see if the NVIDIA goes to recover there. NVIDIA's just hanging out there at the 468. It just seems like an ugly type of day. And I think a lot of this is the banks coming down here. And look at Bank of America get hit there. This is what I was wondering. Like, why is no one talking about the banks this morning? I felt like it should have been prime time talk. But everyone wanted to talk about NVIDIA, and different tech
What are you
names.
talking about? We talked about that on this show.
I mean, we did, Nick. I think you and I think we're more focused on the banks than a lot of people have been in the last week.
I'm tired of NVIDIA and Tesla. We need to come up with something else. I'm tired of Tupperware, AMC.
What was my headline just 3 shows ago on Start Swing Trade? You guys want to know what it was? Let's
Wasn't
see if
something
Nick
about
remembers.
S&P Global coming?
It was, will we lose another regional bank? Bum, bum, bum. Let's focus. Let's focus and keep an eye on that. Doesn't look good right now. The KRE coming right back down. And these regional banks are in a world of hurt. And if we just keep getting these downgrades, that is not good outlook. So look at Pac West coming down today. I've been talking a lot about that. I've been also talking about how you can play this by playing FAZ. That might have been the better play to look at today. Nice little pullback to 1876, held the VWAP, went up there to 19. I look for pullbacks towards 1884s, but looks pretty good on the day. MA, not a bank, but mentioned it 5 times. Yeah, this is not a bad play here. MasterCard is getting a lift. Was that Visa that gave it the lift? I saw one of them kind of moving earlier. Visa's moving up too. I keep an eye on Visa and MasterCard together. Those aren't too bad of plays, but not a bad move there in MasterCard today. Definitely leading the move up here. How's those PayPal life? PayPal got a little spike there.
Bulk, by the way, moving higher here. FULC broke out of the 585, moved higher here. I scalped that. It was so fast, though.
All right.
Bitcoin community is laughing at banks crying. Oh, man. They're out there trying to fight.
I'm not even in the Bitcoin community, and I'm just laughing at the price of Bitcoin. As everybody keeps saying it's going to 100K, and it never gets above there.
That's a decent one.
Yo, Becca, really great spot here early, in my opinion. HKD. So I don't like this stock because I think it's just kind of like a con job, but 580 here, absolutely a spot. We tested this in the pre-market. We were rejected. We tested this in the regular session on good volume. We were rejected. This is your spot. So a move up back through here. If we get volume that expands through here, absolutely an opportunity to trade this to the long side. HKD, no position for me, but we'll keep watching this one. FULC, this has really been the winner here today. This continuing its strength here this morning. We'll see if it actually makes a run back up to that 622.
It doesn't look bad at all. I'd like to see a little pullback really quickly to the 80s, and then I'd take maybe even a risk on this one. Doesn't look bad.
You know, Mitch, you got the VWAP here at 574, and I think that maybe if you get back down there, you might be able to reload it. You can see here that it's actually come into its VWAP once, actually twice here. It looks like this first candle was a test on that as well.
All right, I'll show you guys what I see right now. I might actually try to scalp this bad boy. Doesn't look bad at all. It is holding well now. It might go for the 6 move right now. I'm liking how it's held there like the 588s. And
here
so
comes
it needs
6.
To hold for the 6 now.
Here comes 6 on FULC and not in it.
I'm looking for the quick pullback to 580s, and then I'll take a shot. If it just quick pulls back and then right back up to 6, that's what I'd be looking for. That's just me. And I'll show you guys why that right now. So this is the 5-minute. Look, when I go in the 15 minutes, so I could see this kind of trend line coming in, holding that pullback towards this kind of resistance, now starting to act as support. That's around the 85. So I want to see it coming a little wick through down and then just getting filled. So I'll move back here to 580s and then back through 6. That's what I'm going to look for. Dun, dun, dun. Let's see if we get it here.
How's NVIDIA doing? Okay, it's going back towards the lows.
Qs went back quickly, man. Holy moly. That was a quick one there on the Qs.
Part of me wants to buy more NVDS down here in dollar cost average, but I'm just increasing my exposure to NVIDIA short. I don't know if that's the right move.
Stocks S was probably the better move. I talked about that at the open, never even watched it, didn't trade it. Look at that 1006 VWAP. Look at that. That was a nice one there. I hope someone was able to nail that Stocks S trade on a flip mentality today on Stocks S. How's Gush doing? Trying to hold the VWAP now. It's starting to come down. That's how oil can be sometimes. It looks really bullish, and then they just pull the plunger. This looks like a head and shoulders on the intraday. I could short this off of 109.50s on XOM. Let me take a look at oil if it got into the 70s. Still nothing there. It's kind of just tinkering around. Could come down from here. We'll see what happens. BTU. Yeah, BTU made a nice little pullback off the 2240s and then bounced up. Doesn't look bad there.
Alexa asking here, Ryan, why isn't MicroStrategy ticker MSTR not running on the banking news? First thing to keep in mind here about MicroStrategy, I'm looking at Bitcoin. Bitcoin's down about 0.3%. MicroStrategy is up 0.5%. So outperforming Bitcoin, at least in today's session. Why is it not running on the banking news? I'm not really sure. I mean, the daily chart looks extremely weak here, to be quite honest with you. It actually, maybe this is a support level it's trying to bounce off of. I'll be honest, Alexa, I don't have a really good read on MicroStrategy. I look at this compared to the price of Bitcoin. What I see today is Bitcoin weak and MicroStrategy up against a market that is trying to come back in. So it seems like it's outperforming, but I'm sorry, Alexa, I don't have an answer for you on why it's not running.
All right, guys, got a little bit there of FULC here. So in the trade here, if you guys want to take a look at that,
Yep.
I'll put it up on the screen here. Just got a little bit there at the 580s. So now trying to add a little bit more in the 570s here, but also going to give it a chance to hit the VWAP if it wants to. The VWAP is around 64s here. So it just got to wait here first instead of jumping too early. I can always recover and take the 580s on the move to the upside. But that's already when the move is coming back in my favor. So I'll feel a little bit more confident there. So I give it a second here just to do a little wick, but I wanted to recover 580s and then get back through that 6.
What do you make of IPOs and SPACs at this time? I mean, Carl Quintanilla from CNBC pointed this out, and I forgot to follow VinFast. I forgot they went public on the NASDAQ. He says, you want volatility this month? Well, look, 22, then 9, then 38, then 11, now back to 23. I mean, is it going to be okay for when ARM goes public? I think we have another one that's trying to go public. There's all these IPOs that are trying to go public in this down period. Is this the right time? I mean, what would you say, Mitch and Ryan? I mean,
I'll give you my answer. I'll give you my answer. I would say that this is not the right time for those companies. But what's happening is these bankers are trying to get these IPO deals pumped out. That's what's happened because the bankers are going to get paid on those deals going public. And if you think that there's about to be a bear market that's going to last with any type of time or any length of time, you want to get those IPOs out to market as soon as you can. So, no, I don't think it's a great environment to do that. Are they going to do it? Yeah, bankers are going to try to get paid. That would be my opinion.
I mean, do you think SPACs too, if you wanted to go public via SPAC, this is the right time too?
I mean, I'm not sure there was ever a time for that to be the right time. I don't even know if I have an answer on that one, Nick.
Hey, no hate.
FULC here, by the way, I took a little right here, Mitch, 574. So I'm in it with you again here. Right under its VWAP. Just need a pop to move this back through VWAP, and you're on the road to recovery here. Needs to move through VWAP. We'll see if it does.
I'm keeping an eye on it. It's holding really well right now. It has about 2 minutes left there on the 5-minute candle. So this next 5-minute candle, I want it to be a green candle through that 580s. And usually I'd like to see a lot of the times around the 130 mark for it to start to recover back to green. So you see how right now it's about the 2 minutes left in the 5-minute candle.
They just took that size there at 575. That was your VWAP line here. So we'll see. Yeah, 13. You know exactly why I was saying that. This is a discussion that we've actually had pretty frequently on Happy Hour. 13 adding to this market sell-off risk after IPO deals get out. So what he's telling you there is that right now market seems to be holding in there, but once they get some of these deals out, you could see a steeper market sell-off. 13. I'm in the same boat as the group there. FULC trying to bounce here off the VWAP. Let's see if we get a little push away here on FULC. They brought in a bid under it, Mitch. They got a little bit of a bid there at 576. We'll see if we can get some push here. Here we go, 580. You needed this to recover 6, right? That was your trade plan?
Yeah, I wanted to recover 6, and then like you telling me that size there, I'm actually looking for the next candle to open, slight tick down, like maybe 76, and then come right back up. And it's funny that you mentioned there's an order around there, so that's what I'm going to be looking for. Now, pretty much like 570s, I really wouldn't want it to like break through on the opening action on this candle. We got about 45 seconds left for the 5-minute candle to change. I'll be watching it. Qs look like they want to dump, but they could also bounce off the bottom because that's like reversal action, right? Off of 364.50s, I see that. And there's a couple wicks below that. So there could be like kind of bigger positions building there. That's where I still just be careful. We'll see if it breaks through there. But that's the next layer. If it goes through, let's say 364 on the Qs, you could see some more downside. NVIDIA is still down about 4.32% from the open. There's a recovery. We're almost back towards the next 5-minute candle at 580s. I'm in at 580s. So there's
there we
585s.
go. You're back into the green now.
Yep, that's what I want to see. Now a slight tick down. I can add and then look for the move through 6. There's a slight tick. Now let's get into the 70s here, and I'll add and then go for the hit. Come on, come on, come get that. Come get that. Come get those bidders. I'll be one of them. Now I want the algos to almost bring it back. And I like when I'm like in that mentality because I'm like, yeah, bring it to me. I want to add here. But I don't want to add at the top, right? Because then that's when I get caught. You see how it moves right there really quickly. There's some volume trying to grab it. There's some volume trying to grab it. All right, it's already trying to make the move. So now I can add. And remember, I'm going to try to be more just break even, if not add on pullback. So if this just goes with
size
the
at 590 here, we'll see if they take it, Mitch. Size at 590 here.
So it could be a little pause, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, I think you could also get an accelerated pop if the volume expands and they take it.
Yeah, and both ways, right? We know how it works, right?
Yep. And I know that you're waiting for a move through 6 here. So that first step is going to be taken down 590 here. We'll see if they do it.
Yep. Q's going towards that 364 is just to kind of keep us in tune with the market overall.
I'm ready to take this off here. I'll be honest. I mean, this is another leg for me. I've done really well on this name here. Let's see on this push.
You don't like that gravestone doji, bro? No worries, Buzz. I'll give you a name for that wick. It's the gravestone doji.
I mean, this 590 spot, I mean, I feel like a push through this puts it at 6. That's the craziest part. There is a little bit more size there too. They're hitting it. It's real. There we go, right through 590.
There you go. Now I can look for pullbacks towards my entry. And now that you get through that, I don't mind small pullbacks to get in here. Let me look for like 578. Dun, dun, dun. All right, let's see if we can take it. Come on. Come on. We need one of these little runners. I need some music. I need to get me going here. Stream that. Hit me. All right, what's going on out there, guys?
590. Through 590 here, Mitch.
Bone on Roblox. All right, I'll take a look at that a little later today. What are you guys looking at? Microsoft. Jason taking a look at that. PayPal moving, says Buzz. You guys keep throwing up those names out there and hit the like, guys.
I took mine off. I took my FULC off, just so you know.
Okay.
I'm having a pretty decent day in this.
Okay.
Done pretty well. I'm actually getting blown up here for work, so give me a sec.
Okay. Well,
I still like the setup. I just put my profit in my pocket. That's all, Mitch. I still think that
I know.
Potential move through 6 is up here.
Part of me is like, Ryan's out. Now's when this bad boy goes to 7. No, I'm just playing, guys. Yeah, hit the likes, guys. I mean, we do this. I'm trying, especially today, and you guys see it, like explaining literally step by step how I go into it, right? I don't think you're gonna get many times where this happens. All right, guys, it looks like this is the time. I'm going to be now or never, guys. I'm adding to it already, guys. I got to cancel my other ad because, of course, I don't want more sizing. But I'm at 588 with 100 shares, looking for the 6th break here. That's what I was looking for. Let's see if we can just drive through 6. Dun, dun, dun. Risk for me is 570s now. I'm looking for the drive through 6, though. Q's going lower. Be careful with tech names. Q's getting hit there to 363s. Man. Sometimes, man, I'm telling you, this morning on pre-market prep, I just felt like everyone was so bullish tech. I was like, man, can we we got to hold this down a little bit, right? Isn't this just too much, too fast? Man, the Q's telling us that today.
I mean, the NASDAQ logged its best day in a while yesterday.
NVIDIA down to 457s now. Started the day with an opening price of 482. So we're down a pretty decent amount there, close to 5%.
Mitch, 6 up here on FULC.
I'm not even trying to look no more, Ryan.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
No, I'm just messing with you, man. You know how it is. When you get to these points, it's like, come on.
There's 6 and through. I scalped that too.
Oh, good. Let's
Took
go.
another one. Let's go.
My little scalper over here just took the shares that were available. Thank you.
You're welcome. I mean, I just look, man. The quick trades, the quick trades are working for me. I'm just gonna keep hitting what's working.
Gotta take that money, man. Can't blame you, man. Take that money, baby. All right. Let's see if we can really get this going.
NVDS, I'm actually up on the day, so I'm eating back into that position that I was down on here. FULC, definitely the winner of the day here.
I hear you, Ryan. My man says, stop. Hammer time. I see you on the little scalp action. Can't blame you.
I'm just out here. We out here.
Take what you can get, man.
VFS. Oh my God, VFS.
Still going?
Dude, I took my eyes off this. We talked about this potentially going to 26. It's at 29 now. VFS, look at the volume. This tells me right here that the stocks, this is all you need to know about whether or not the stock is strong here today. This volume continuing to hold up, pushing the stock to highs here. The stock's up 25% here today. Wow, VFS. We're getting all excited about FULC. VFS is what we should have traded. Holy smokes.
You know how it
Holy
goes,
smokes. Man. By the way, oh no, that was actually from earlier.
Back to 6, guys. Back to 6. Let's go. Come on. Now's the chance. All right, so now
I'm putting you up. All
right, so now we got to be smart here, guys, because we've gone through 6 how many damn times? And so what do I got to do? I got to be like, all right, so 585s is my stop. I can lose 3 cents on this name from here on out, no matter what. So let's see if it wants to just rip here. I'm going to give it the chance to give the rip. The rip could go, a pretty good amount. So let's do my measurements for knowing where I could see this kind of giving the push towards. So if we measure the flag action, that's from 430s, 440s up there to like 640s. Next spot for me is 620s and then 640 breakout. So if we could get to 640s, maybe we can get to 650s and get into a halter. We'll see. That's what I'm going to be looking for on the first profit, and then look for it to continue going. We'll see if we get it going here or not. All right, smash the like out there, guys. You guys are enjoying the action here. Of course, you guys are here with live trading, and you guys see that we have a new partnership here, guys, with Trade the Pool. And I think it's very important, to kind of combine yourselves with strong brands in the industry. And we're actually going to be bringing Pro to them also. So if you guys join Trade the Pool, eventually you guys will see that you guys can get your free demo also and check out Benzinga Pro. Hey, like always, if you guys want to check out Trade the Pool, get some of this access. You guys are seeing us trade the eval account right now. We're doing the super buying power one. So if you guys want to check this out, this is $300 to get into the eval, and you guys can get a pretty decent sized account. We'll talk a little bit more about that as soon as I'm done with this FULC trade. I'll get into a little more of that, but it's been an interesting day, and we're going to keep showing you guys a little bit more of Trade the Pool.
That's like
SS
a
is
catchy
asking.
saying, trade the pull.
Yeah, because the truth is that's what it is every day. When we go to the market, what do? We throw our money in the pool. The question is, will you get the money back? That's the truth. Everybody throws their money into the pool. Some people pull it out. All right, so we got there towards like a break look towards 610 and then pulled back. So that just tells me what? I don't want to stick around for a VWAP move. That's 565s. Would I want to risk that? No. So it's at this point, it's like reload at 6 and go. If not, I'll just take it off. So let's see what happens here. Do we get a reload at 6 and it takes off? Dun, dun, dun. If I wanted to, I could add at like 610, but then I got to really start trailing the action. And that's when you got to be careful because the trend pullbacks, right? Like Ryan talks about those quick sweeps back. Jason talking about Lily and 52-week high, touched it 3 times, trying for the 4th. Oh, that's a scary high to get towards. Let's see it. All right. Are you talking on the daily or are you talking on the just like kind of the weekly outlook? Man, Lily's a monster. Dude, I remember I wanted this at 330s. I'm so pissed I didn't
I know,
get
me
this
too. And the thing is
on this
that,
downturn, I was in it at
dude,
330s, but I got flushed through 325s and never got back in it when it came back around.
that would have been
failure.
That would have been such a monster, Mitch, too. That was such a good
This
move.
would have been in the investment account too.
Yeah.
And that's the way I was thinking about it. And I could have just been sitting back now at this point.
Oh,
I'm an Eli Lilly fan forever.
Yeah, I was gonna say you might be out there getting some Manjaro at this point.
Yeah, you know what I mean. That would have been a monster, guys. All right, let's go back to FBLC. Let's see what happens here.
It's still flirting with the 6 area.
Yeah, and you know what's important is I have my stop now, so you guys don't see me stressing about the trade. I know if I lose, I'm gonna lose 3 pennies here. If I lose 3 pennies on the name, hey, so be it, guys. Can't be mad about that. Give yourself a chance to make money. I give myself even time sometimes. And this is one of those times that I'm like, this is a go or no go type of trade. The only question is, will I get my Taco Bell, baby, today?
Just the mere thought of Taco Bell right now makes my stomach turn. It's just, oh my god!
You feel that in your intestines?
It's like 10:40, and you're talking about Taco Bell, and I'm like thinking to I've barely finished my coffee, and now I'm thinking about Taco Bell. Oh man! Oh man!
Oh, it just did that nice little 590 rewind pullback. Let's see if we go back through 6 here. There's 6. It's like if I wanted to take my shot to add, to me, I think that's my shot right now. And then holding 590s no matter what. If I wanted to go at it here. I don't want to add risk on day one. 610s needs to step up. 610s, we need to see volume come in and just drive with a big candle. Probably the biggest candle we've seen on the day. That's what I would want to see here. The 610, like, nice expansion candle. There we go. 610s. Can it hold 6 now? Now, if I wanted to, I could set my stop at even like 590s.
Oh man, FULC, dude. Mitch, where is your profit target? This is moving, dude. This is,
dude. It's just move, baby, move.
Let's go, Mitch. We hit it.
Let's go, baby. Let's go. 640s, somewhere in there. I'll take half off, guys. But if we get to 640s, I'll take half off there. I'll even put it out there so you guys can see it. So you guys see it out there? Well, that's what I'm going to do, though. I don't like to keep orders out for too long. So in this case, what I do is, oh, you see I went right close to it? That's why I don't like to leave them out for too long. Oh, man. So now I can
this
just
going for 649 now. This look out, guys. 649 your pre-market high. I'm not in this. I wish I was. It's going here. My little scalps. I missed the bigger move. Man, I traded it 5 times too.
All right, guys. Trying to move down to 635s to get a little quick pop fill there. So normally what I do there is I cancel, put it back, cancel, put it back. Sometimes just like to just say, hey, I'm not getting in this, not trying to get out, not trying to put pressures on the book, and then you're going to come back in it. So we could do that if we wanted to here. I'll show you how that looks here. 35, set it up for yourself, cancel it. As the price action goes up, I put the order out. There's the pop to the 30s. Once it gets above 30s, I'm going to start putting this order out. There's 30s again. Slowing up in the 30s. There might be a little wall starting to set up at 30s.
They brought in a bid there at 625.
All right, let's see a nice
they
little
brought in a
35
bid,
pop.
Mitch. They're trying to hold it up.
We'll see. We'll see. Dun, dun, dun. The volume came in, that's for sure. All right, on this little up attempt, if it doesn't do that little up attempt here, that's when I'll probably get out to half. Ooh, the little wall stood up there at 630s.
So Marty's asking here, what are your thoughts on using a simple stop loss versus a trailing? Marty, I would say 95% of the time use the simple stop loss. It's just, I mean, if I have a swing on and I'm, nearing the end of where I think that stock can go, maybe I'll put a trail just to make sure I don't give it back. But for the most part, I'm using a stop loss. Figure out what the level is. This is the max tolerance for pain or reduced profits, and then stick with it.
I'm trying to get my profit take here, guys. But the thing is that I don't want to go and then just take 620s here because it's just going to ruin the original profit to loss ratio that I was looking at, which is up to the 640 spot. So I got to at least stay close to that. When I get into the 30s, should have got out on that first pop, but I was too slow. You snooze, you lose, right? On 37s, should have got out there. I had it at 40s. Like I tell you, sometimes you can't be greedy about 3 cents, right? So it could have been a little bit of a quick little out. So now I'm just trying to manage it and get out. And I don't want to go all the way to the 37s because what if it never gets back there? So I'm just trying to take some first profits and then I can leave the rest break even and not care about the position anymore.
Real quick here, I'll go right back to your screen here, Mitch. But 13 with another call here. We talked a little bit about ALLO being a potential short squeeze candidate. 13 giving you NVAX here. NVAX popping and moving up here. This looks like this is closing in on 10. Take a look at the short interest here. 45.6% of the float shorted, 8 days to cover. Absolutely a short squeeze candidate here. Nice spot, 13 on NVAX. Maybe this will go. Mitch, I'm going back to you.
All right. We'll see if we can get this lift off. Still no profit taken. So what I'm going to do here is actually cancel my sell order because there's no point in just leaving it out there if it's at 617. So at this point, what am I doing? I'm just sticking to my break even stop out. If it comes back to my break even stop out, so be it, guys. I could just take full profits here, but then I'm running towards profits. I like sticking towards what I'm looking for, right? And so at this point, no matter what, I won't lose on the position, but I'm also going to have to give it some time here to develop through this 5-minute pullback and see if it wants to go through that 640. And a lot of times this actually helps now because this is a 1047 move, Ryan. To me, a lot of the day traders are already starting to head out the door. And so with that being said, this could be something that I'm going to look to like keep pushing. And Jason, no stress on like talking about positions in the chat. You can always put not advice. That's not a big deal either. But the big thing that I would say is put like levels that you're looking for, like specific levels that you're looking for on the breakout, right? Like if Lily gets through 323.50s, I could see it ripping. That's a lot better for us so that we can take a look at those levels also that you're seeing, right? And then we can make our own opinion. Yeah, I'm out of here soon till 2-ish. Yeah, a lot of people start heading out the door. And I think that that's when I like to actually take a lot of the times these types of trades because it could be more run by algo action versus the retail traders. And the algos love to do these little pullbacks and then sweep it right back. So it stays above 6 right now. I'm still feeling good.
Folks, let's have a round of applause here for Becca. We talked about this really not long ago. We talked about HKD really trying to break this 580. Look what happened here. Look what happened here. Becca, we got $1.30 from that spot when you first called this. Just an amazing job. I didn't trade it, just a great job.
When Becca walks through the door, this is all I hear.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talks.
Here comes the money.
Hey, shout out to you, Becca. On that one, you definitely deserve it. Good job.
Becca said she was a teacher, if I'm not mistaken. Becca, are you teaching stock trading to your students? Because it seems like that's what you're doing here.
She should.
You should be.
Yeah. Nick's like, you should be my teacher, man. I'm ready. Yeah, I had some good teachers in school. I used to be in little business clubs, Business Professionals of America. I don't know if they still exist.
Well, that's the thing. This is what we were talking about before. Teachers can be hit or miss, right? You get those that just impact you. Imagine Becca's out here teaching people how to trade. Imagine the impact that would have. I mean, just great job. The art of stocks to the little ones. Let's go. HKD pushing to the eyes here.
Oh, it still exists. It still exists. It was founded in 1996. You see, you got to join that, Nick. Nick, why aren't you part of the BPA?
That's a good question.
Well, I'm sending you this. If they don't have this in your school, you're going to start it yourself.
Okay. I'll try.
Yeah, no trying, man. We do it. We do it. Do it.
Yeah, dude. Do or do not. There is no try.
There is no try, right, Ryan? We will or we will not.
I will be giving Ryan a hug before I'm 30 years old. I will tell you that.
That's my
No
boy.
try. Now we out here. Now we really getting spicy.
We doing it. All right, guys. We'll see if this recovers. It's like hanging in there. And so this is like that nice little spot where it could even pull to 6, but don't want to see anything close below 6. If that happens, it would feel weak for me. Would you feel that way, Ryan, on that break on FULC?
Here, let me go back to it. I was still blown away by HKD here that I missed it. So let me go back and get right. Okay, so what's the question again?
It?
Okay.
So from this point on, what would you want to see hold for it to remain strong?
Right here. First of all, what you're looking at, let me hide. We'll do this one at a time. All right. Yeah. The only indicator that you're looking at right here is the Bollinger Band. Now, remember, as soon as since we've moved back through the midline of the Bollinger Band, we've actually used that as support. So what I would like to see here is I don't want to see the stock break down here. Excuse me, Celsius, you need to work better for the brain because I can't even talk right now. I don't want to see this break down beneath the mid channel, or if it does, I don't want to see it really break down. Okay, as soon as I said that, here we go. Curse of the commentator, I'm afraid. The other thing is, Mitch, is that if I turn off the Bollinger Bands and we look at the VWAP here, I wouldn't be shocked if at some point today we did a pull back to the VWAP. That is going to invalidate the Bollinger Band, but if we turn that back on, that's actually going to be the close to the bottom end of the range. So what I want to see here is I want to see another move to the highs. But if we pull back here, I would say that you want to wait till we can reload on support.
Like it. I would want to see it hold 6. That's like my outlook here. And just the way I look at it from this point on, it should hold 6. It broke above 6. So if there's any reloading, I would say it's towards 6, not the VWAP, because at that point, do I really want to be in that name? I don't think so, unless it's just a pop and drop type of stock. And so we'll see what happens there. We'll see if it takes right back up through 630, because if it does go through 630s this time, I'm not taking profits at 630, Ryan. If it goes back up through 630, I'm not taking profits this time. I'm looking for the break above 640s this time to take some profits, because if it does go back there, I think it takes 640s and you take pre-market highs, we could get in a nice little expansion. So this point, since I'm staying in the trade, I'm going to pay myself and reward myself accordingly. Remember, break-even stop's already set. So I can just try to play and try to make the most money that we can on the day. All right, guys, we'll see what happens, but the market is still dragging, guys. I will tell you guys that, and it just seems kind of like a classic move, right? We'll see if by the end of the day it actually recovers. Qs are back to VWAP. Nvidia is starting to come back after going down towards a low today of 456.80s. So it doesn't mean that it's going to completely break, right? I thought Nvidia could just pull back, and I think we've already seen that. We might have already seen the pullback. So you're starting to get a little recovery there. We'll see if there's anything that goes into the green. Healthcare is in the green. Utilities is still slightly red. Financial services leading to the downside there, as we see the banks really take a hit today. Even JPM straight down out the bank. You got that, like that one, straight out the bank. But we'll see what happens there. Look at JPM here, guys, and this is what I'm talking about.
Look at VFS though, real quick. 13 gave this to us. He called us 30 earlier.
That's a monster, dude.
This has been in such a monster. Really wish I traded this one given the performance
today. Squeeze, man. That's a squeeze if I seen one. And that's crazy.
It's just a monster move, dude. I'm sitting here in awe.
It is an all type of play there. I like how that closed there on FULC now, so wouldn't want to see it break through 6 now. I would like to see it recover here on this candle and push right back through. JPM still lagging, man. Just laggard today on that one. SS trades, how much do you decide based on candlestick patterns? Like if you see a shooting star, do you really take it as bearish and hammer candles bullish? What I use it for is mainly like one candle patterns, of course, not something that I'm going to, be like too crazy about, especially like, let's say if you're looking at it on a 1 minute. But what I'm looking for is a collection of these showing up, right? And so that's why I try to do the rule of 3 a lot of the times, because that can keep me looking at more of a collection of candles than just one candle, right? And so that's the way I base my trades a lot of the times. And then also, like I talk about it, there's variables. I talked about it yesterday. There's 4 main variables that I'm trying to focus and stick with: understanding story, fundamentals, technicals, and where the market is in the current environment is always going to play into my trading. That's why sometimes I feel like in day trading, sometimes you can get a little lost because you can easily trade a name. Let's just be honest, just based technically like this FBULC. I don't even know what the name of the company is. I just know the ticker.
That's exactly it, Mitch. That's what I mean when I say I'll trade garbage. Like I don't need to know. Like Fulcrum
in day trading, it's different, right? I would say in day trading, it's completely different, and that's where day trading and swing trading is a little bit different for me. Like I don't normally go for names like this on a swing trade. Swing trade for me, I need to kind of understand the story, where it's going, at least hype wise. I want to know fundamentals aren't just telling me to run the other way. And then I want to look at technicals and see if it's starting to turn around. Did it catch some traders? The psychology of the market, that's where the current environment goes into play. And I'm trying to bring that all into my swing trading action. That's why I feel like I just do better in swing trading, because I bring multiple variables versus a lot of times in the day trading action, I try to stick to what the current environment is and more the trade that I'm taking right in front of me. That's why I focus a lot on the market. You guys see me talking about it. Well, the Qs are doing this and the SPY is doing this. Now the Qs are recovering. And there it is. Is it another lunch recovery? Ryan, I talked about this too much. And Nick, I've talked about this. You got to find me the good lunch spots, man. Some of these guys know the good lunch spots. Some of these guys don't. It feels like it, man, because yesterday was one of those days where the market just ran after lunch. And I was like, man, did everybody just go to the same lunch spot?
I'm telling you, dude, the food trucks outside the office are bussing today.
That's how it is, man. And, hey, get some food truck action. Support your local business.
They have this one taco truck that has like a legit Crunchwrap Supreme that's not like Taco Bell quality. It is out of this world.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went to a local Mexican place this weekend. It was really good. You gotta find the good mom and pops ones. I always like supporting smaller business. Everything in the red from the open. Let's see if that changes here with Q's trying to pop back.
I was gonna say we have like 2 minutes left before we hand it off to
Right? Time to hand it off to AB, I think. AB is going to be coming up
AB
next.
with the Kaiju ETF.
Yes, Kaiju ETF, AI, baby. If you guys want to learn a little bit about AI, I think AB is going to be making it all about AI coming up next. I think he even called it AI stocks plays to watch. So if you guys want to take a look at it, that's going to come up next. I am going to be playing a video when we get out of here on, of course, Trade the Pool. And you guys, like always, check the comments below and hit that link if you guys want to go ahead and check out Trade the Pool. I'm going to throw up the link right here for you guys to go ahead and check it out. And hey, maybe you guys get into some trading prop action with us. Like always, you guys can share results with us if you'd like. If you don't like, you don't have to. But we're here to help you also, support you mentally. That's one thing that we're definitely here. I think we're a great community of helping each other get the right mindset for trading. We come in here with a great mentality, always trying to be positive, regardless if the trades go green or not, right? We want to keep pushing forward and working on our skills. We'll see what happens on the rest of the day, but the Qs are trying to recover here. Will Tech make a move back after making a first leg down on the opening action? It seems like we're going to get a little bit more, but hey, who knows? Maybe the Qs recover, maybe NVIDIA recovers. Ryan, do you want to wrap up so I could get you out of here, my friend?
Yeah, Nick, it's been an absolute pleasure, man. We hope to see you back. Can't wait to hear your breakdown of NVIDIA earnings. Let me know if you ever need a note to get written out of class or something like that. I can pretend to be some type of responsible adult. We hope to have you back. Good luck with everything. You've been an asset to the show.
Thank you, Ryan. It's going to be sad from Thursday when I say goodbye after NVIDIA earnings.
You'll be back.
I'll be back. Yes,
you'll be back.
I know. I hear the chat already. I hear the chat already.
No, God, please, no.
They're not happy, as you can hear. They're not happy. That's for sure. Definitely not happy, as you can hear. I'll get Ryan out of here, guys, and definitely we'll wrap it up here. Like always, you're not allowed to go. All right, but like always,
Mitch, it's been a great few months with you guys, but we're ready. I'm ready for next summer. I'm all ready to hit the road, start live trading with next year. We're really going to try and up it next year. I'm going to come in with better things. We're all going to be better. That we know you're going to be launching a new show in the coming weeks, and I do hope to make an appearance at 3:30. We're going to make it in. We're going to make it fit in the schedule. I'm going to make that fit in the schedule because I cannot leave these folks hanging. But I know you and Ryan will continue the show daily, every weekday, 9 to 11. You guys can do it.
You know it, my friend. I appreciate you coming by. Always the door is open to you, Nick, and keep coming at it. If you guys want to stick with Nick Brown, you could always follow him on Twitter, right? We talk about it. News by Nick. Look at that guy. Look at that guy. Hey, give my man a follow. News by Nick, of course, on Twitter. And, of course, you guys can always keep up with me at MoneyMitchBZ. I'll be back on Start Swing Trade. That's coming up at 3:30, and I'll be talking about this trade also. Stuff that, I stay open for Trade the Pool, guys. If you guys want to keep up with that action, come to that show. I'll let you guys know exactly what happens to those trades. Still in FULC. We'll see what happens, guys. Hit the like if you guys enjoyed today's action. Nick, I'm going to get you out of here. And in a second, I'm going to play a little bit of a video so you guys can understand a little bit more, of course, about Trade the Pool. Don't go anywhere. We got a lot more for you guys right here, of course, on Benzinga. And we're going to keep pushing to the next limit. Here, you guys check out this video, of course, so you guys can know a little bit more about Trade the Pool.
Trading stock is don't risk your money. The second rule in trading stock is have enough capital to trade freely. Introducing Trade the Pool. Trade our funds in your own unique way. Here's how it works. Step number 1, show you can trade and prove your profitability. Step number 2, get funded. Trade the pool and keep up to 80% of the profits. Step number 3, stay consistent and get access to unlimited buying power. It's as simple as that. Sound good? But wait, we got more. When you join Trade the Pool, you get a free user for the best tools in the market. Trade ideas, TrendSpider, Bookmap, Trader Syncs, and more. We have been here for a while now, from 2016, when we built our first brand called The Fivers, a well-known and respected prop firm for indices and FX trading. But enough about us, let's talk